Ain't playing with nobody. You step in that ring with him, be prepared.
Oh my God! All day. There you go. That's it. That's it.
Just relax. There you go. Just relax.
Round.
There's his experience, his toughness, his cardio. He has a lot of heart, and he knows that I'm coming to win. And they're saying that this is the hardest he's ever been training.
Back in terms of some of that discipline, but training camp happens. If he's locked in and he's looking to make a show and try and knock this guy out, I wouldn't be surprised either. Does he have the gas? Yeah, even though he's dealing with a bigger guy, it's still he's been 10-12 rounds in real fights. Jake hasn't. Jake has shown that he's got tired out in fights.
Jake Paul's confidence is at an all-time high as he prepares for his highly anticipated clash with Gervonta "Tank" Davis. Never one to shy away from bold statements or controversy, Jake is once again making his presence felt. His arrival near Tank's training camp has only added fuel to the fire, creating an atmosphere thick with tension. Meanwhile, Tank has been spotted refining his speed, power, and precision, leaving no doubt that both men are pushing themselves to the limit. Everything is now in motion for what promises to be an explosive and unforgettable showdown.
And so right now, I just want to see what he brings to us. We just got off a plane. A lot of work yesterday from the interviews and stuff, so I want to see how he react. 2 sparring partners, and rounds is unknown.
All right, y'all. Let's go.
When they watch us in here working, they saying we going bang, 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 bang.
There you go. Good. There you go.
When he get in that ring, he's on a mission. Because he understands that he got to put his pants on, training wheels going. We got what you asked for. Let's get it now.
Jake Paul is training harder than ever before, showing a new level of focus, intensity, and discipline. According to him, this camp is unlike any other. He promises to unveil a refined skill set, faster combinations, sharper defense, and smoother footwork than fans have ever seen. With his confidence soaring, Jake insists he's ready to shock the boxing world and prove himself against Gervonta Davis.
Pick him apart, and people are going to be able to see the skill set that I've been working on in the gym that I haven't been able to showcase in recent fights yet.
For Gervonta Davis, this fight is about far more than another paycheck or spectacle. It's about pride and legacy. Facing Jake Paul, a YouTuber turned boxer known for his shocking victories, Tank sees this matchup as a chance to defend the integrity of the sport he's mastered. The undefeated world champion has thrown himself into an intense training camp, pushing his body and mind beyond their limits to eliminate any margin for error. His determination makes it clear. This one is personal. Boxing analyst Paulie Malignaggi commented that while Jake Paul's fights aren't staged, they're often designed to work in his favor, with his team carefully selecting opponents. But this time, Jake is stepping in with a fighter who thrives under real pressure. One misstep against Tank could go viral in an instant, and that thought alone fuels Davis's fire to remind the world why he's one of the most dangerous men in boxing.
Knockouts. People like knockouts. They don't care if you're knocking out cab drivers. Look at Jake Paul's career.
You can manufacture that though. You can manufacture that though. You can manufacture.
You can't manufacture.
To a degree, you can. To a degree. I mean, you can't. Yeah, Gervonta legitimately can get knockouts. I agree. He can punch, but there's a lot of limited knockout artists though, man.
He's one of the least active punchers in the game with the highest knockout percentage of current heavyweight.
But if he was a real knockout artist, if he was a real knockout artist, prop him up against the best of the best. Felix Trinidad was a knockout artist. He was knocking out the best of the best. If you're a real knockout artist, prop him up against the best and show us how he smokes them. But the way Wayne did when Felix Trinidad was doing it, the way they did when Mike Tyson was doing it in his prime. Say what you want about the Mike Tyson era. He knocked out everyone from 1986 to 1989. Everyone got knocked out. Everyone.
But by your standard, you could say that Tyson was to a degree manufactured.
No, because he fought everyone that was there. Everyone that was there at that time fought.
Teddy Atlas will 100% agree with this because he would say the guys that were afraid of him.
With the exception of Witherspoon. No, but they all doesn't matter. He knocked them all out. There was nobody you could say in that era except maybe Witherspoon, who had contract
say the same thing about-
who had contract issues with King at the time. Oh, except for Witherspoon, there is nobody Tyson didn't fight in that era. He knocked them all out. You can't say like, oh, but if he would have fought that guy, I don't know. No, with Davis, there's guys right now that have been hanging around for years. Yo, dude, when you gonna fight them? The lightweight division was stacked with talent. Even at 130, it had a lot of talent when he was there. Didn't fight almost any of them. So it's not the same thing as the Tyson era. You want to say anything about Tyson era? Fine. It wasn't as high level or something.
Teofimo Lopez, one of boxing's top talents, shared a candid take on the upcoming showdown, suggesting that it should be viewed more as entertainment than a traditional sporting contest. According to Lopez, the clear weight difference and the celebrity element surrounding Jake Paul turned the matchup into a spectacle designed for attention, not rankings. He compared it to the new wave of modern boxing events, where the spotlight often shines brighter than the belts. Lopez pointed out that fights like this represent the direction the sport has taken in recent years, blending competition with entertainment to capture global audiences. Still, he acknowledged that for a proud fighter like Gervonta "Tank" Davis, treating any fight lightly simply isn't in his nature. His comments underline a growing debate in boxing, the balance between showmanship and sporting integrity, and how crossover bouts like this reshape the way fans experience the fight game.
Matchup is fun for the sport of boxing. It makes it fun. It makes it entertaining. That's what it is all about. You know, and may the best man win. It's an exhibition regardless. It doesn't count.
Doesn't count? Yeah. We need to see you and Tank though. Has to happen.
What happened?
It has to happen, you and Tank.
We'll see, man. It's up to the champ. He's a champ, right? He's fighting. He's a celebrity champ.
One of Jake Paul's former sparring partners has issued a strong warning ahead of the upcoming fight. According to him, Jake has never experienced the kind of explosive power that Gervonta "Tank" Davis brings to the ring. He explained that while Jake's confidence comes from his knockout wins over MMA fighters, none of those opponents possess Tank's elite combination of speed, timing, and pinpoint accuracy. The fighter went on to clarify that Tank's power isn't about sheer strength. It's the precision and sudden impact behind each punch that makes him so dangerous. He cautioned that Jake's belief in his size advantage could disappear the moment Tank lands clean. His remarks echo what many in the boxing community already believe. Jake Paul is stepping into uncharted territory against a natural-born finisher who thrives under pressure and has made a career out of dismantling confident challengers.
I think, honestly, man, like every single time, you know, people said that Jake would get finished or he would lose a fight, he obviously proved everybody wrong. But I genuinely believe this time, I think that, you know, with Gervonta's boxing IQ and him having Jake come down a little bit in weight, I think Gervonta will beat him, honestly. I think Gervonta will hurt him. I think he'll just use IQ. He'll tire him out a little bit. And, you know, I think he'll land. You know, Gervonta knows how to touch his opponents. But it's interesting because when Floyd fought Logan, the size really made a big, you know, impact. And you saw Floyd struggle, you know, against a big, you know, Ohio corn-fed, you know, wrestling strong dude. And, you know, I've sparred Jake and Logan before, and, you know, they train hard.
You're picking Tank by knockout?
Look, I sparred them years ago. They're much better than when I sparred them. They're athletes. You know, they train really hard. I think they work harder than...
Former world champion Tim Bradley shed light on the emotional and mental challenges that Gervonta "Tank" Davis faces behind the scenes. He reminded fans that even elite fighters deal with exhaustion, not just from training, but from the constant public scrutiny and online criticism that follow them everywhere. Bradley empathized with Tank's situation, noting that the relentless pressure from fans and media can take a toll on any athlete's focus and performance. Still, he praised Davis for his resilience, explaining that Tank has learned to channel negativity into motivation, using it to fuel his preparation for battle. Bradley concluded that if Davis can maintain his composure and stay locked in, his natural skill and ring IQ will ultimately expose Jake Paul's lack of top-level experience. His message was clear. While Jake enjoys the luxury of freedom and fame, Tank carries the weight of an entire sport's expectations every time he steps into the ring.
Tank, you know what I mean? I was misinformed. You know, you gotta know what somebody's going through, man, or have gone through, and where they've ended up. Now, you have to understand that. You gotta understand their DNA, you know, and we as fans, we fail to realize that. We as commentators and fanboys and all that. Like we all don't do that. We don't do our research. You know, you got to know about somebody's history. So like, if you understand where Tank came from, if you understand his background, then you understand how he thinks and why he feels the way he feels. You know, you do. So, I mean, for instance, like his parents, right? His parents were drug addicts, in and out of the system, in and out of jail. You know, he lived with his grandmother. You know, like, you gotta understand when he started boxing, why he started boxing. Understand that, you know, that what the influence that Calvin has had on his life, and how if their relationship isn't great, how that affects him. And this is not making any excuses, people. This isn't. I'm not making no excuses. I'm just giving you what I think, and I'm giving you the facts surrounding all of this. You know, I remember back in 2012, you know, I'm living right. I'm living civil. I'm taking care of my business. I feel like I'm doing everything right. You know, I'm living right. I'm saying all the right things. You know, I want people to...
The promotional hype surrounding this fight has reached massive levels, with non-stop interviews, viral training clips, and social media campaigns dominating every platform. Yet, interestingly, reports suggest that ticket sales haven't matched the online buzz. Despite the heavy promotion, fans appear hesitant to pay premium prices for seats.
Promo is fire. And when his fight first got announced, I told y'all, the promo, when they start promoting it, it is going to be fire. The promo will be better than the fight, right? Because obviously, I don't like the fight. I'm not a fan of the fight. I cannot stand the decision for Tank to go in this direction, although I understand it, right? I understand it because I understand the business behind it. So I get all of that. But the promo is fire. If you go watch it, the way that is shot, the production of it looks very, very top of the line, top shelf, as you would expect from a company as big as Netflix, which is a $530 billion company. So they have the budget, they have the money to make sure their production is A1. Obviously, as a Tank Davis fan, paying attention to him in the promo, the young man looks in good spirits. He looks like he's in a good headspace, and he doesn't look like he's unhappy to be there, which bodes well for the prospects of him continuing his boxing career, I guess not retiring. And I think that as he gets closer to the fight, as the fight happens, he'll be in this happy place. And I expect for Tank fans, for boxing fans, to get really good news after Tank Davis and Jake Paul share the ring and they do the post-fight press conference. I think that a lot of people will probably be happy with the outcome of what Tank Davis has to say after that fight. But the promo is fire. It's just a trailer. It's up on the Netflix YouTube channel. Go check it out if you haven't already. Really enjoyed watching that promo. Watched it a couple of times. And as I said, I'm paying attention to the press conferences. I'm paying attention to the build-up because I feel like there's a...
Analysts have long noted Jake Paul's strategic approach to opponent selection, choosing fighters who bring both star power and a manageable level of risk. His decision to face Gervonta "Tank" Davis follows that same formula, combining spectacle with credibility. At their recent face-off, the contrast in size was unmistakable. Jake towered over Tank, his broader frame emphasizing the physical disparity between them. Yet, while Jake looked confident, Tank's calm, unshaken demeanor told a different story. Commentators called the moment both fascinating and tense, a reminder that in boxing, size doesn't always dictate danger. Tank's composure seemed to carry an unspoken warning, backed by a career built on precision, explosiveness, and knockout power well beyond his weight class.
You're not fighting guys your own fucking size. Look at this, John. This is embarrassing. And not to mention, Georgia already said, no, you can't have this fight here. So they moved it somewhere else. Dave, do you know where they moved the fight? Can you look it up? This is embarrassing. Look, he actually put his hands on his knees and he was still the same height, maybe a little bit taller than Gervonta Davis. I mean, I'm all in on Gervonta. I want Gervonta to win this fight.
I want him to. I mean, I'm not saying he can knock him out, but I think if he hits him to the body a couple times, John, he may be able to catch him. A lazy jab or something, he might be able to pop him to the body and get him good. I'm hoping. Jake Paul down with a body shot.
Oh man.
Oh geez.
Could you imagine?
I would. It'd be great.
It's a win right there.
It'd be fucking great.
Miami.
Oh, they moved to Florida. Makes sense. The only place that opened up during COVID makes sense. I mean, what's your thoughts on this fight? I know it's an exhibition. I believe it's 10 rounds.
Look at Gervonta Davis is a hell of a fighter, but he's and I think that the one thing that Jake Paul is really going to have to try to figure out in this fight is how do I catch this little son of a bitch, because he's fast, and Gervonta, I would, I'm not telling Gervonta Davis to cut down and weight like he normally does. Just get in shape. Whatever you weigh, you weigh. Don't try to add weight. There's not enough time for you to add good weight that's not going to make you tighter or anything like that. So just come in at your normal, walk around, good weight. You've been training hard.
Boxer Bruce Carrington recently shared his perspective, saying that matchups like Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis bring new energy into the sport. In his view, these crossover fights attract younger fans, social media audiences, and even casual viewers who normally wouldn't tune into boxing. Carrington acknowledged that traditionalists might reject the entertainment-driven approach, but he argued that this evolution is necessary. Just like in past eras when charisma helped build boxing legends, today's fighters must balance skill with showmanship to capture the spotlight. He believes that celebrity-driven matchups actually strengthen the sport, bringing in new sponsors, wider media coverage, and renewed global interest. To Carrington, Jake Paul isn't damaging boxing's legacy. He's redefining it for a generation raised on viral moments and digital storytelling.
Entertainment, right? But this what this is, it's sports entertainment. This is what's gonna put butts in the seat, believe it or not. This is what's gonna, bring a lot of money to the sport. Especially, we have people trying to say boxing is dead, boxing is dying. But, we have a whole demographic of people that don't even watch boxing, interested in boxing. So I like to look at it that way. Like we're making these fantasy dream matchups come to life with Floyd and Tyson, And to be honest, I'm a little biased because Floyd, he is my favorite fighter of all time. And Tyson, he is a guy that basically made me fall in love with boxing. And he's the icon, the myth, the legend for me. So it was them two fighting. It's yo, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So and then on top of that, it's an exhibition, bro. It's not something to be taken serious. It's something that is for the people to just enjoy and watch. It's an exhibition. It's not like they making it a sanctioned fight. Now, Jake and Tank, are they making that a sanctioned fight? I think they are.
They're trying to. It's a lot of moving parts right now with that.
Yeah, so I think that's that's where certain things become an issue, because now you're putting it into a serious space. You know what I'm saying? Which it shouldn't be. It's honestly, if it's sanctioned, how the heck they gonna I don't know, bro. I don't know how to.
And former world champion Carl Froch has voiced serious concern over the potential physical mismatch between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. He pointed out that the clear differences in size and power could lead to unsafe conditions if the fight isn't carefully regulated. Drawing from his own experience inside the ring, Froch emphasized how dangerous cross-division matchups can become, especially when one fighter carries elite knockout power. His warning highlights a growing concern within modern boxing, the rise of spectacle-driven bouts that may prioritize marketing over safety. Froch made it clear that his remarks aren't about questioning either man's talent, but about protecting the integrity of the sport. In his words, boxing must never sacrifice fairness and fighter safety for hype and pay-per-view numbers.
Like Jake Paul, that's serious. He can't really box. He can have a little fight, he can have a swing. Swings away, stands up straight, and he throws punches, but it's not professional boxing. Because when I watch him box, there's just so much wrong. It's just everything's wrong. It's so bad. He's got leaky defence. He telegraphs his punches. You put him in with someone his own size. It was a professional, and it's a mismatch. And you'll see that if he ends up fighting somebody. Tommy Fury, bless him. He's a pro boxer, but he's inexperienced. He's got no amateur pedigree. He's a raw novice, or maybe just above the raw novice. I was saying earlier, where would I put him in terms of levels? He'd do well to win a British title. is at that sort of level. And then from British title to world level, it's like different worlds. It's like totally different.
Rising boxing prospect Hermel Moughton, who trains closely with Gervonta Davis's team, expressed complete confidence that Tank will take control of this fight. Moughton explained that Davis regularly spars with fighters much bigger than himself, even heavyweights, which makes Jake Paul's size advantage meaningless. According to Moughton, Tank's ring IQ is on another level. He's a master at closing distance, reading timing, and capitalizing on every mistake his opponent makes. While Jake may appear imposing physically, Moughton believes skill, accuracy, and experience always overcome raw power. His remarks highlight the unwavering confidence inside Davis's camp. For them, this isn't just another fight. It's a statement opportunity for Gervonta to silence doubters once again and prove why he's regarded as one of boxing's most lethal and efficient finishers.
I feel like it's gonna be a good fight, you know, entertaining. It's an exhibition, so we're gonna see how serious they really take it, but I don't know, they both getting a lot of money, so, you know, congrats to them.
What if you had it, like, who has the edge in this fight?
I feel like Tank has the edge for sure. You know, he's a real fighter, you know, and got skills, high IQ fighter. Regardless of the weight, you know, I've personally seen Tank, you know, spar heavyweights, you know, and even me, I spar heavyweights, you know. So the weight's not really too much, you know, for a lot of great fighters, you know, so I feel like Tank will get it for sure.
Do you think he kind of be like an advantage because he's like small and like fast? Like someone said that, I'm like, I didn't think about that actually.
Yeah, possibly, you know, he gonna see a lot of Jake Paul's punches coming, you know, he can be able to evade them and then set him up for a big counter.
Wait, but do you think this is gonna be different than the other Jake Paul fights we've seen, like against Mike Tyson and Julio Cesar Chavez? I know a lot of people weren't the happiest with that, but I feel like Tank's gonna give him like a different fight. Do you think so?
I think so. We'll see how he adapts to, because a lot of people think it's hard, you know, for a small guy to be fighting a bigger guy, but it's also hard for a big guy to be fighting a smaller guy. It's a small target, you know.
That's all for today's video. Stay tuned for more updates and fight breakdowns coming your way soon.